Welcome back to Nerd Wars, and you guessed it, Amandla Stenberg was just on The View.
So happy to be here.
We're so happy to have you.
I wake up and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to look for some stories, because I make YouTube videos now, apparently. And what do I find? Amandla on The View. I was gonna be a professional clickbait journalist and read this beforehand, but I thought it might be fun to get an actual, genuine, authentic reaction. The Acolyte lead Amandla Stenberg claims to welcome criticism of the show, suggest large chunk of negative coverages, clickbait journalism. I'm gonna extra clickbait the thumbnail just for you, Amandla. Why could anyone hate this Star Wars show? Look at how good her acting is. Any frame you take of her from this entire show, this is exactly what she looks like. Huge wide range of emotion, singular emotion, boredom.
Boring!
Oh, apparently that's entranced. That's her entranced look. Stenberg offered her thoughts on the series' less than stellar audience reception during a July 8th appearance on The View. Itself notably produced and broadcast by the Disney-owned ABC. Yep. Why could anyone dislike this show? This is the classic Star Wars you remember, right, guys? Asked by show co-hack Sonny Hostin if she could speak to the intolerable racism, as described by the actress herself in the Instagram caption to her previously released diss track, which I'm probably at some point going to force you guys to look at. I apologize in advance. She claimed to have received from unhappy Star Wars fans in response to her terrible casting. Stenberg asserted, "It's been very painful for me, but then I just wipe it away with the $100 bills because I was born filthy rich. My dad's a rich white guy. And this light skin privilege is just, I'm stuck between two worlds, and it's just so hard being a millionaire.
We do put biracial and light-skinned people on a platform.
It's just so hard to have everything handed to me because I decided I don't know what gender I am. It's not something that I think you can emotionally prepare for, and we welcome criticism of the show when it comes to storytelling or performance. Oh boy, do I have a huge long list. And let's start with the terrible acting. The very first scene, it comes down, and then you have you making the same face you make the entire show, and I went in wanting to like it. I had to watch the whole season. I would have been nice to have like some bit of enjoyment while watching it. Nope. Immediately go down and we get Amandla just staring. Could we maybe get a space battle or something? This is Star Wars, right? Oh no, it's not Star Wars. You made something else, and then when the Star Wars fans get mad, then it's our fault. We just don't understand you made something else. Well, why did you make something else? But when it comes to death threats, horrific, violent, racist language, have you been on the internet? It's just called being on the internet. It's unacceptable to me. And I've had to think really deep and hard about when you display discipline and when you display honor. What? Was this displaying discipline or displaying honor, Amandla? And I guess what I mean by that is, when do you decide to utilize discipline to not engage in a reactive way of hatred? And when do you decide to engage in honor by honoring your values and your belief system? And in this case, I decided that the most important thing to me to be vocal, because I'm an activist who doesn't know what gender I am. Because I think that silence can send a message as well. As we all know, white silence is violence, and she is half white, so she is half violence. And inaction can be very dangerous. She's gonna be a good ally and use her light skin privilege.
They actually can't quite distinguish different shades of black people.
How could anybody hate this show? The acting is, well, very emotion. This is her finding it hard to believe. This is her finding it hard to believe face, apparently. Very similar to her entranced phase. Or her I'm definitely going to turn to the dark side because I'm the worst phase. So I made the cringiest diss track in the history of diss tracks. You could definitely tell I was half white in that one. It's called Discourse, and it really is about, you know, what I've been experiencing, but it's also just about the divisiveness for the culture and how difficult it is to navigate information in this new era. I know it's probably difficult for you to navigate information. You struggle to navigate your own gender.
I think it's canon that R2-D2 is a lesbian.
It's so difficult to tell what is true, you know, online. Online, is that when you found out you're not the gender you had thought you were? Was it online? Maybe some misinformation, one could say? And these online algorithms, they shape our realities and our thinking. And clickbait journalism, you mean like all the outlets that like the Acolyte do on a regular basis? And these algorithms also profit from our rage and our hatred. Well, the thing is, there's a lot to have rage and hatred for, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. I'm somewhat Star Wars normie, and I'm constantly doing this when I have to review it. This is so bad. We keep trying to think of ways to make it not terrible, and they never ever do it. We keep writing better stories than them. Like in just like a second of thinking, it's so bad. The rage and the hatred is there because you guys are really bad at your job and still have lots of money for some reason. It's weird. I feel like that's something we're aware of, but we don't necessarily have discourse or infrastructure around because it's so new. So we need a global digital ID that'll be connected to your social credit score. That way you can't be mean to me on the internet while I'm rich and I eat all of the meat and fly on all the planes I want to while you plebs eat the bugs and own a vehicle? What's that? Sorry, I mean infrastructure to protect my fifis. Oh, what's this? Mainstream outlets also didn't like it? How weird. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All of you leave mean comments. This is for you. This is because of you. All right, it's about to start. Only a little bit longer. I'm so sorry. Oh God. Oh my God. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. The desperation of oppressors is rising. So much they go on The View to try to propagandize us and say we're the problem. If you rely upon misinformation, you don't know what gender you are. Everything you say becomes moot after that. And while we're on it, you shouldn't be allowed to vote or have a driver's license. That tells me you're afraid of the truth. Non-binary. I'm a great Jedi, just like my gender. Here's Osho 100% turning evil as expected instantly with zero fight against it. Immediately just turns evil. Who would have guessed? Well, when you have no morals, turns out it's really easy to turn you into a Sith or a Hollywood starlet. And here's her completing her transition to evil speedrun. Pretty easy to transition to evil when you're in that gray area, like Hollywood is and want all of us to be in. Would we get heroes again? Nope, that's not gray area enough. How about anti-heroes? You want some anti-heroes? Also, here's why all the villains are actually good guys. Hell, I'm rooting for Quamir to kill all of the Jedi. I hate them all so much. And the only person who's somewhat decent is Manny Jacinto doing his Quamir Smilo. I mean, the Stranger apparently is what we're calling him. Only person I even like the tiniest bit, I'm rooting for him to kill all the Jedi off. Because these people don't understand good and evil. Yeah, oh my God. New one's on tonight. Please help save my channel. Like and subscribe. It's under attack by Amandla Stenberg and Leslie Headland writing incompetence. Hey, one of you guys want to watch it for me and then make a YouTube video so I can know what happens without having to watch it? Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and please follow the algorithm on your way out and support the channel by becoming a YouTube member.